Detailer's Roadmap Cruise Control, where we navigate the roadways of life, business, and everything in between. Hey guys, it's Kevin Davis from the Cruise Control Podcast. It is episode number, 26. I'm here with Chris DiGiovanni, who is the El Presidente SEO website extraordinaire guru of Detailer's Roadmap and the founder of 8-Bit Creative, and happens to be my boss. So here we go. So Chris, man, we're going to do these regularly. I love being able to come in here and clear up some, either some confusion on some of these topics or just help educate those that may not know, as much as they need to know, because I mean, obviously some of this is like unicorn farts and fairy dust and how this stuff works. And so, let's kind of break it down. I'm thinking we could cover a few things. Let's start with SEO, right?
Yeah.
So give us obviously there's like all sorts of different things that we could talk about with SEO. It gets very technical. I mean, I've been in web for a long time and I'm still kind of an idiot when it comes to SEO, just because first of all, it changes every freaking month and it can be confusing. So why don't you break it down for us?
Yeah. And I guess you're kind of a good case study too, because you've seen SEO work for these guys as well as you've seen SEO work for your own brands, right? You're already starting to kind of see some inklings for shout out to Rugged Restore,
Yeah. So we started with Rugged Restore two and a half months ago, and you and I have been talking about it. I'm like, Chris, how the heck are we getting to this so quickly? Because I mean, some of my rankings have gone from 110 down to 16 or 11 or first page and all that. And, we're still tracking, and this is what's important, I think, and you can go into this. We need to track conversions of that. In my case, it's dollar of sales, number of sales conversions.
Yeah.
And if you're booking coding jobs and detail jobs, obviously it's leads and then converting those into sales. But yeah, I'm been super pleased with how that SEO stuff has gone for me.
Yeah, I mean, SEO kind of is like mumbo jumbo to a lot of people. And I guess I'm the king of analogies, I guess. And I'll just put it in this way is imagine you wanted to lose weight, right? There's not typically one singular way to move the needle in the direction you need, right? So let's just take some husky guy here on the channel. Let's just say it's you. Okay. Let's say Kevin needs to lose weight. Usually it's a combination of a couple things, right? It's not just eat less. That probably wouldn't move it as much as you think or really be a sustainable practice, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, you're going to lose weight by eating less, moving more, maybe weightlifting, maybe watching specifically what you eat. And that's kind of similar to SEO, is that there's usually, we call them columns, like multiple pillars or columns to move SEO. And so the biggest question I always get is what does a website with SEO include, like ours? And a lot of companies offer this too, and some don't. But when a website has what's called foundational SEO, it means the website's just built to the best level. It's got meta titles, it's got meta descriptions, it's got text behind the images so Google can read it. It's just done at the most high level. So, and in terms of a gym and losing weight, it means you're just eating the cleanest food in the pantry is there. There's no Oreos floating around. So everything we've built it on has been Cheerios and oat milk and fucking stuff like that. So there's no bullshit put into it. Because years ago, designers would make the prettiest sites in the world, and I was one of them 15 years ago, but they wouldn't rank at all because they were just pretty. There was no writing to it, no all that mumbo jumbo that the site has, how it's built. So once again, you can look at a house, and if it's built on a foundation of mud, just because it looks pretty, it doesn't mean it's worth a shit, essentially. So
yeah, and I mean, I think that's a great analogy though too to talk, because I'm way old school, right? Like late 90s web development, back in the day when you could literally trick Google to rank you. That's like white text on a white background with keyword keyword
just jam in
bombing and all
every
that stuff.
word.
Yeah, like, dude, it's like it was crazy, and it's not like you can't do it anymore. It's a much more complex way. And I love your analogy for food, especially. And I'll take it one step further for you, just because this is kind of my background as
Yeah.
well. Is, there's things like thermogenic effect of food. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase, but
Yep.
like if you eat like a steak versus a bagel, the bagel requires almost no effort in the body to convert it into sugar and then into fat. Well, when you eat a steak, it requires additional work. Your body basically burns a ton of calories in order to turn it into amino acid or amino energy or amino acids and carbs and fat and all that stuff. So with all that to say, like, it's dietary and nutrition guidelines can be pretty complicated. So you got to kind of lino those things out so you understand, okay, what things am I putting in my body to make it as effective and efficient as possible, right? And so SEO and building those things can be the same way.
Yeah. I mean, and if I had like a little visual that was here, there would be like 3 little pillars that would pop out. And one would be foundational SEO. That's where you should start. How the website's built to the best specifications. The second pillar is typically what's called like off-site SEO. So you hear the term like Google, like backlinks. Most people don't know this, but Google Business, when you post on Google Business, that is actually off-site SEO. So if you post on there and you edit your Google Business profile, Google likes that. They send you more traffic if you use their platform. So if you see me kind of dying on the sword here saying Google Business is the best free SEO thing, it really is. That's why people, when they say I'm not high up in the map pack, right? Detailing near me, I'm not in that 3 listing map. It's because their Google Business is basically empty almost every time. That's why. I got tons of reviews.
Can you dig into that a little bit more? Because I don't even know, when you say map pack, like, I kind of know what that means, but explain what that means, especially like, because it's a mobile aspect, it's desktop aspect. So kind of dig into that, because I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Yeah, and I apologize. So, if I had a graphic designer who worked for us, he would put a map pack, boom, right there.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah. Basically, when you scroll on your phone and you look like roofers near me or detailing near me, and you're looking on a mobile device, usually, you see the first couple listings are sponsored ads. Usually, you'll see it says sponsored on Google. That's someone paying to be on top. Then there is literally these 3 selections closest to you, right? And if you notice, there's 3. There's never 4. There's never 20. There's never 1. There's usually 3 closest people to you, because Google's trying to give you the most authoritative piece. So when it's map pack, it's listings usually with an address, a phone number, and then if you click it, it goes to like Google Maps. That's called the map pack, that 3 little thing. There's actually tons of listings usually in there, but it only is giving the first 3. And where do you think all the traffic goes? You think it goes to the 4th one after you hit view more, or the top 3? It goes to the top 3. Right. So that's the map pack. The map pack is influenced by responding to reviews, having a Google Business profile, posting on your Google Business profile, editing it, and making use of it. Google is basically giving people like a free kind of ace up their sleeve. You want to use that profile? I'm going to rank you higher every time you touch it. If you don't touch it, and this is the biggest one we always get, is like, hey, I got 190 reviews, but the guy who's got 3 reviews is beating me. I wonder if he fucking like updated his profile recently or or responded to those 3 reviews. You'd be surprised. Little shit like that works too. Also, of how old the website is. So that's one offsite piece in that column. Boom, Adam pillar right there. Offsite SEO is stuff you're doing off your website. So like Google Business adjustments, going to get backlinks, which is a pain in the ass. I'll talk about that some other time. And anything off the website that could tell Google, hey, this is the authority in the area for coatings and film and tint. And so that's offsite. And then the last big pillar which we like to focus on. We spend a lot of time on. It's called on-site SEO. You've seen the benefit of that quite a bit, where that's a lot of adjusting of the current website. Some people believe it's always adding stuff. Sometimes it's not. A lot of times we actually take stuff off websites. Plagiarism, rip it out. Google doesn't like not plagiarized stuff. Remember, it wants the most authoritative person. So on-site SEO is like adding blogs, adding more pages, changing headlines, changing descriptions, maybe adding more blocks, adding video, stuff like that. That is where you're affecting the physical website in a meaningful way. So if you're breaking it down again, 3 pillars is, and I'm trying not to lose anyone with the magic unicorn, but technical SEO, offsite SEO, and then on-site SEO. And I don't know if that kind of makes sense. And the way I always say it is, like, if you're thinking about it in weight loss, one is food, one is working out, and the other one is probably rest, relaxation, and proper thermogenic pieces, technical pieces, right? So.
And sleep. Yeah, those, it's a very foundational thing. So the big trend now is AI, right? Like, we've all been talking about AI, and I know people keep asking about this. I, on one of my websites, have some AI written blog entries, which is actually, we're stripping some of those out because I don't think those are helping us. Google is still getting smarter about AI, right? So how does that, what's that looking like now versus what it might look like a year from now? What recommendations are you making for people in terms of AI content? Because, dude, any detailer can go in, or any business owner can go in and generate Chat GPT. You can generate 1,000-page or 1,000-word blog.
Yep. Where we personally have been using AI for years, so it's just only come to light recently, is that we use AI to point us in the right direction of, this is the keywords you need. This is the long tail keyword chain you're looking for. I personally have not seen yet where take this whole 1,000-page article, throw it on the site, 6 months later, it's going to rank it better. And we try out a lot of different software. So I'm not saying that it's not out there. Just what I'm seeing today, I'm not seeing a complete all-in-one AI solution that people can kick out 20 blogs and point it. You got to remember at the end, if it was cheap and it was easy, it's probably not the right move. What's the move, right? It's not cheap, easy, and all that stuff. You get to pick one or two. I forget how it goes. You might know.
Cheap. You can have cheap, easy, and good, and you get to pick 2.
Yeah,
right? Like, you can't ever have all 3 of them.
Yep. So Google right now, and they've been like this forever, is that they want the most authoritative content. And so if the content is blending or seeming like the paragraphs are lining up to the 1,000 other things that have been written already, it's looking for every reason to negatively affect your website. And so the goal with SEO, and maybe we skipped right over and didn't answer it, but is to get your website higher up on that first page ranking, and get you up higher and higher, because that's where most of the clicks go. Most people don't go to page 2. They don't go to page 3. They don't go to page 4. And so Google really wants to reward people who do the right effort. They have come out and said, if you use AI right now, it is not considered a distrustful signal, but they believe that they can detect it, actually. And you can kind of tell sometimes, if it's AI.
It pisses my wife off like crazy right now, because she's big into, she does baking, right? Like, that's a huge thing for her. So she'll go searching, and you can totally tell that it's been written by AI. There's just a certain feel to it. And with Google being as smart as it is, it can, if we can pick up those nuances, I know that it can pick up on it, because at the end of the day, Chat GPT is not as smart as everybody gives it credit for. It's basically an enormous database retrieval system, basically. So it's using the web as a database and then pulling that information off. So
and there's different.
We're not going to trick it. You're not going to trick it, right? You're not going to trick Google.
No, and there's different AIs. I think that most people don't know that, but there's AIs that are conversational, right? That are meant for like chat situations, and Sometimes there's ones that are meant for writing articles, and stuff like that. But the way Detailer's Roadmap uses SEO currently that we find the most beneficial is letting us write it with detected keywords that it says, hey, you got to use these 40 keywords X amount of times. You should have this many paragraphs, this many sentences, this many images. So it's almost more guideline that AI helps us out with. But it doesn't even write the outline for us.
No.
I wish it would. It would make life easier.
This episode is brought to you by Detailer's Roadmap. Hey, spoiler alert, that's us. We all know you need a kick-ass website in order to be successful with your business. The good news is at Detailer's Roadmap, kick-ass websites, that's kind of what we do. With the latest performance, designs, and SEO strategies, Detailer's Roadmap is your one-stop shop to be successful on the web. And don't forget, we have the best support team in the industry. Whether you're an existing partner looking to improve your lead generation or you need a brand new website, Detailer's Roadmap is here to help you be successful on the web. So go to detailersroadmap.com/success and get started today. That's detailersroadmap.com/SUCCESS.
So
yeah, I use it a little bit for topical stuff. So if I'm like, hey, give me the top 10 things that consumers don't understand about car detailing or whatever, then it can give you that list and you can say, hey, I need to write a bunch of articles for my website or GMB or whatever in order to get those out. So you can use it as a tool in that way, but it's just not a plug and play, just push stuff out.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, it's just a piece of the overall pie to help move the needle. So it definitely affects Google in a good way. You just have to use it appropriately. It's not the end all be all solution. So,
yeah. And, one thing that you talked about was kind of this the first foundation is having it technical
SEO,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Technical SEO. And this was one thing I was super guilty of. Right. And that's one thing that we had to fix right away is that, my site had the images. I hadn't optimized some of the image, which all this stuff I actually know better, and I just didn't do it. Images weren't completely optimized. I was missing a ton of H1s. My content was not well written.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different because it's an e-commerce site. So you have to use different technical things. But all that to say, by having your website done correctly, technically, that saves so much work and rework and web development time,
months
to have to do, because you're not redoing. Like I have to go back and redo a ton of my site because I didn't do it right the first time.
Yep.
Whereas, Detailer's Roadmap, we're building sites that are ready to go out the door, which gives us kind of this, built-in, you've already paid for technical SEO that's already there without even, doing anything extra to take that next step.
Yeah. We have a rule of like, do it right or don't do it at all. And so we've chosen just do it right, build it to the best of our ability, give it our best shot day one. I know there's a lot of other sites out there that are very pretty, but if it doesn't rank and it doesn't turn the needle for people, I feel like I would be selling them like a $5,000 site that would basically be a pretty painting that couldn't do anything. And people aren't asking for a painting. They're asking for a salesman, the website to be a salesman, pre-qualify, do all that stuff. So, it's just the right way to do it. Not to say that you couldn't build it on Wix, you couldn't do it on Squarespace, but you got to go through and fill out all those fields. And those are good for a very first site, right? Like I always tell people, if you don't have a website at all, maybe start with Wix or Squarespace, try and build it out to the highest bar day one. Because when you go through a site with us, it's going to be a completely different animal for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Cause you're talking about, the biggest, most important thing for any business, whether you're e-commerce or lead generation, service-based, like detailing, automotive, you want it to convert. The whole point is that it's not even just the salesperson, but it's the closer, right? Like the website should be the closer to pre-qualify and to disqualify people that we don't want calling us. And that's why we build stuff with tons of CTAs, those call to action buttons, and and all that. Because then the technical side of it's like, let it do 80% of the work for you up front.
Yep. Yeah, you bring up a good point. You said, hey, website's got to be built from a technical standpoint. I mean, the reason we don't do SEO, and Kevin knows this, is we don't do SEO on websites that don't hit our minimum bar. To go off of what Kevin said is like, you said a great point, have the CTAs, which are call to actions, like call now, book now, all that stuff. Because if you do SEO for a website that's not built to convert or pre-qualify people or inform people, you put up the biggest frickin' billboard in your town and you brought them to a building that's empty. No salesman inside, no products to purchase. There's a phone number on the door. There's like a dog that's like looking lonely at you, like you're in the right place, like that's why we start with the site is like, sometimes people don't even need SEO, ongoing SEO where you're doing the offsite and the onsite stuff. But that's why when you build a website super strong first, it just makes everything easier for the detailer and the film shop and the tint shop. If you're running ads, boom, website's done. You don't got to play the game of, well, there's not enough buttons and there's no form and there's no way for people to contact me and it doesn't have technical. No, the fucking website's done. You can run ads to it. You can do SEO. You can add landing pages. You could put a e-commerce function on it. It just makes people's lives easier. Every single time we've done SEO on a website that was not built to our standard, it missed the mark for them and us every single time. It's because it wasn't built to convert. So gotta have a good converting site day one.
Yeah, and it's funny, and I mean, I'm picking on my own brand here, and also picking on you because you won't build me Shopify sites because we don't do that. Right? We don't do that right now. But
someday,
for me, like one thing that I'm doing right now is I have to go back and I'm researching higher converting themes for my Shopify site. So like all that to say, like if you take out the e-commerce aspect of it, it's because my site is not technically as high converting as it could be.
Yeah.
So like if you're building something on Wix or Squarespace, or you have some other developer do it and it's super pretty. In my case, for example, the product pages aren't optimized in order to separate people from their money as quickly as possible. Right. So like that can happen on a website for lead gen. And if those CTAs are at the bottom, or the header image and the hero images and videos are enormous. And so it pushes everything down. If it's not, mobile or, mobile friendly to the extreme, because what's the new number? It's like 75% of all web traffic is mobile now. Or is 80. It's a lot. It's way higher.
75. Yeah. It's currently right now hovering around 77%. So you're right there. Yep. So
if it's not optimized that way, you're screwed. So all that to say, the one of the most important things just right out of the gate is to have the website optimized technically for us, to perform well SEO wise.
Yep. It'll just, your dollar actually goes further that way. If I have to come into a site, and if, let's say someone said, this is my gorgeous, pretty site, I need you to do SEO. It's not ranking. It's not doing jack shit for me in my town, which our sites do amazing in towns of like, 20 to 60,000 people. Sometimes we tell people don't add SEO. SEO is more for like high competition, moderate competition, and large townships, right? But if someone had a gorgeous site and then they said, I'd like to add SEO, I might have to spend 3 months rebuilding that bastard to get it to the level it needed to be with our site day one. And not to pick on, Kayvon's a good friend at ACAP Films. He was a perfect example. Gorgeous site. Dude had a killer site. Was amazing looking. Put up a new site with, our standard SEO. And he's like, he called me back within a month. He's like, paid for itself for the whole year. Done. What's the next step? And shout out to him. He realized it. It's hard to let something go that's pretty, that didn't, this isn't the cubic zirconium, of like, it looks pretty, but hey, my wife knows it's not real. No, this is like the cubic zirconium that like crushes at night and you have to rebuild. It doesn't work as well. So, that's the SEO pitch. So,
yeah, I mean, to go a little bit further on the pitch for ROI, because we talk about ROI for everything. We just had this discussion about time a few days ago about this, but the ROI of what you're spending your money on is one of the key components. And so, a lot of these businesses that we're doing business with, I mean, they're booking, like, if you're a wrap shop, you got a $12,000 or $15,000 full color change wrap, or 20 if you're using some of the more expensive films. So like, if you're spending even at the basic SEO packages, and we're not, I'm not hard selling anybody on this stuff, but like, how fast does that get paid for if you book one job?
Right.
And like, like most of our sites, if you book a couple of extra jobs like that a year, it's paid for the whole year. If you're doing $2,500 coding jobs, it doesn't take, it doesn't. So look at that in terms of, all right, what am I spending money on? Where should I spend it? What are my benefits? All of that.
Yeah, we absolutely always want to provide an ROI and realistic expectations. So we always match an SEO package with competition and population. A guy in a town of 50,000 doesn't need the same package that a guy in a town of 5 million is. And you kind of hit it on the head. The biggest thing is with expectations is because SEO is like working out, there is no instant pill for 6-pack abs. I would have found it by now. I would have found it. I'm just letting everyone know if there was a fucking pill that could give me.
I've got a bottle. I got a bottle here. I'll send you.
Oh my God, I would chug the shit out of that live on here right now. But there is no magic pill. It takes a long time. The best part of SEO, super high ROI. You're typically going to see, it depends on the population, but you can either be, roughly between 6 months and 12 months to really see that kind of high ROI, right? Like if you worked out in January, you're going to see those results probably in June, July, August, if you did it right. You're not going to see results really in February and March, minus the little trim up, right? I really think SEO is like that. We usually typically tell people after a year, you're usually seeing about a 25 to 40% increase of traffic. So that's something you can say, hey, I used to get 500 visitors a month organically, and now I'm getting 700, 750, or 800. And the best part is these are people that are looking for you. This is not Facebook. This is not Instagram. This is not TikTok. This is ceramic coating near me, detailers near me, PPF film, Expel, whatever it is, coding, top coding professional. These are people looking for you, and you are ranking higher and higher to reach them. And just the reason Google doesn't let us instantaneously do it is if that was the case, we would bolt up a site with 30 blogs day one, and we would just repeat that process every day. Every day we'd launch 30 new blogs for you. And it really is saying, hey, Jackwagon, I'm not going to let you upload 30 blogs and let it make a difference. I'm going to take my sweet ass time to make sure you're the authority I've been looking for. So that's kind of my dumb analogy for it. So
no, I mean, it's a great analogy because even if you go a little bit further, like I can't hire a personal trainer, which I was a personal trainer back in the day. I can't, like if my clients had come in.
Shout out to Kevin's abs.
Yeah, there you go. Pec implants. Like if my clients had come in and I just we sat across from each other in the workout room and stared at each other for 45 minutes and then they left, they're not going to get any benefits. So one of the things I know you harp on all the time, and we just talked about it a few minutes ago, was Google My Business and what, how all the stuff that people need to be doing. So I want to talk more about, what people need to be doing to facilitate the benefits and, just go into that a little bit more. It's funny because we've been taking these applications for these, Troubleshoot My Business episodes that we're going to do with Grant Menard and Barry Thiel. And it's been funny because one of the questions we ask is, what's your social media look like? How often are you posting? What does your Google My Business look like? And how often are you posting? And some of them are like never, every 1 to 3 months. Then I got people that I can then look at and turn green to say,
Yep.
2 to 3 times a day, once a day, whatever those numbers are. And it's like, it's so black and white when you look at it on a big Excel spreadsheet to say, yeah, this is what he's doing or she's doing, and this is what works.
Yeah. And you're not seeing the people who struggle, the people that are checking off a lot of those boxes, right? So kind of coming back to your questions, Google Business, basically they reward the more you post and do stuff on there. Ironically, there's another platform people don't talk about, and it's called YouTube. And believe it or not, if you use that platform and kind of do it as like C8 Corvette ceramic coating, a lot of times the same things you would do on Google Business that you could do on YouTube, that will move the needle too. Most people don't think YouTube is the
I wonder who owns YouTube again.
YouTube is owned by Google, and YouTube is the second biggest search engine out there.
Yeah.
So, the biggest thing is like Google Business is like optimize the heck out of that profile. And what that means is fill out if you don't have handicap access or you do. Are you put in your hours? Are you closed Labor Day? Make an inside video of your environment. Take some outside pictures. Just upload your logo. How to get a hold of you. Where to get your website. Like fill that out to the bananas. And where people screw up, and I would tell you this, is like, if you don't do this, go ahead, take $100 bill, put it right in the fucking shredder, right in front of you. Okay? If you are not posting 5 times a week, which is Kevin can do that from the toilet in 10 minutes and schedule them out. If you don't do that, and just take your old Facebook posts from a year ago, Google doesn't care. They want effort. Get in the gym, right? Just fucking swing that weight up. Do whatever you got to do. Take some old Facebook posts from a year ago, put it in a Word doc, schedule that out for the next month, but post just even 5 times a week. I guarantee you're going to get that ROI of $100 back really quick. If I told you were paid $375 an hour, you'd say, hell yeah, I'd take that. Well, it takes 15 minutes to make 5 posts and schedule them out.
Yeah.
You're literally just shred fucking money if you don't like Google Business posting. Got a girl that's putzing around at work that, has got 20 minutes in her day? Boom. Schedule the next week out. That you're doing it every Tuesday at 3 p.m. It's so easy, and Google
you don't even need to use an outside piece of, like, Google lets you schedule it inside Google My Business.
They do. They make you, I believe Google right now still makes you, whatever you post goes immediately. If you want to use a scheduling service, I think there's stuff out there for like $15 or $25. So,
okay.
If I'm searching for it, this is not a recommendation of software, but Google My Business Scheduler. There's reputation.com. There's Zapier can do it. Plannable can do it. Simplified, OneUp, Recur Post, Social Blue, Hacker Noon. There's tons of them already in there. So it's not hard to pay for a Google Business. Loomly is another one that always comes up.
Yeah.
But that literally, I look at it as like, pretend it's a 15-minute sprint in the gym. If you sprint 3 times a day, you lose weight faster, right? If you sprint 1 time a day, you lose weight, but just not as fast as 3 times. Google Business is just the easiest free way to just start getting up that map pack that we talked about. Map pack, Adam, right there, right in the square. So we'll even mark the clip for him. Map pack. But that is seriously the easiest way from a local standpoint. It won't affect you from e-commerce. There's no point in doing it national wise, but local guys, Google wants the most local thing. So the more you do using their platform, the more it loves it. So
yeah, and it's not, there's so many options, whether it's the person that is dicking around and they're on the internet, Facebook already, go use this time for good. Hire a freaking VA, right? They're like, go to fiverr.com. There's probably tons of people out there that, search for will post to Google my business for $5 a day or whatever. Like it's, even if you don't want to do it yourself, there's tons of options out there.
It's so
It's
easy.
funny that you mentioned YouTube, because I actually had that experience this morning. I'm trying to diagnose a problem with my underground sprinklers in my house. Really weird problem. So I go to Google and I'm searching on Google trying to find stuff, and I get a couple little results, but the results sucked. So then I went on YouTube and actually did a search for the same basic thing. And then I found tons of videos that pretty much led me on how to diagnose this issue that I'm trying to freaking track down.
Yeah. I mean, let's just talk about YouTube real quick. So you don't have to do a lot. I mean, you're the video king. You probably can talk about what to say on video, why to say it, all that stuff. From a search standpoint, let's just say this guy has a brand new Corvette in and you did a ceramic coating on it. No big deal. You could just literally make a 90-second video talking about ceramic coating, and Kevin is really the guy to talk to about why you should say what you should say, not show a finished product. But if you're just doing a 90-second video and you even post like Chevrolet Corvette C8 ceramic coating, and let's say I'm going to just pick on Kyle Simpson, Spartanburg, town or something like that. And then a description with your phone number, your address, and your website address. Man, I'll tell you what, you post one of those a month and Google sees another fucking signal, like Google business, website, YouTube, like it's a fat kid. It just like, whoa, you're giving it another signal. So it's all
and you can take that same video and you can repurpose it, right? Like you repurpose it for YouTube Shorts, which get a ton of traffic and actually help, you take that 90-second video, you can get 6 different clips out of it, just jump it around. But
yeah, I mean, you can, on top of that, you want to double dip, you can give us the video and Detailer's Roadmap and comment on your site. We'll put it on your site, and that's another signal. That's another double dip. It's called Video Schema. You want to talk about getting lost, I'm not even going to bring it up, but we take care of that. So
see, here, I'll simplify it. Video good, no video bad.
Yeah,
right? Like that's
video good, no video bad.
Adam, can you put that equation up on the screen for me? Video good, no video bad.
No video bad.
But like, even, I mean, and you're talking about different ways to be creative about it and shooting different, but I mean, one of the things, if you're doing C8 Corvettes or any Corvette, one of the big trends now is we love to make fun of Corvette owners because they're kind of fit. There's a stereotype, right? New Balance shoes, jorts, leather Corvette jacket, leather hat with Corvette logo on them. And I'll just tell this side story. I'm driving through my town to go get some part for my Jeep. And literally there were 10 Corvettes, right, lined up at the bank. And I about had a wreck trying to take a picture of it, which I couldn't because every single one of the guys that was standing by their Corvette was 100% stereotypical.
Oh yeah, right? The duplicates of each other.
Literally that whole outfit. So here's a fun idea. If you're doing any Corvettes, right? Get permission from the owner, but shoot a parody video with that car about ceramic coating. Say something like, new C8 owner goes for his first coating job or whatever. Yeah. Dress up somebody in New Balances and jorts and all that stuff. So like, dude, that could go viral. Give me credit for it. Give me a link back or something. But stuff like that, like to be creative. Someone posted, I'm in the Jeep community, and one of the things is the ducks. Like in the Jeep community, there's this thing where they like to put ducks on people's Jeeps, right?
Okay, so I didn't know that. That's a new thing.
Yeah, so like they call it ducking, which is what every time I try to say something, it autocorrects to ducking.
Ooh.
But I don't use that word. But there's this thing about this putting ducks on people's Jeeps. So I saw this video that had like 2 million views on it the other day of a guy putting New Balances on the hoods of Corvettes. And it said Corvette owners answer to the Jeep ducks.
Oh, Jesus.
So like, but, and all that to say, be creative. You can make a 20-second video and put it up on a short, which then you can repurpose to Reels and Facebook and, TikTok, but concentrate on the YouTube first and push it out from there. So
Yeah.
tons
I
of
think
ideas there. We're not here to talk about video necessarily, but
no, but I would say going off of your point is like, if you're just posting these cool videos and content on Instagram and Facebook, those only live in those realms, right?
Yeah.
I dropped something, go figure. But those, if you post a Facebook video, it only lives on Facebook. If you post it on Instagram, it only lives on Instagram. Just take them, throw them on your Google Business Post or your YouTube, and those are searches that can get found. And kind of, it's all about just putting more cups in the lawn while it rains.
Mm-hmm.
And the more certain ways people can find you, the more you have an influx of people coming in. And search is the biggest one. It's your most qualified customer. It's your highest ROI. If I told you you had great videos on that C8 Corvette and you had 10 videos on Facebook, I immediately should be asking you, why is that not on YouTube or your website? Why is that not on the biggest search function in the world? Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a qualifier, right? Like if you have a Jeep, my neighbor's got a Tesla. I guarantee you when he looks at a detailer, he's looking to see, is there a Tesla photo? Is there a Tesla video? Like they don't understand that the fucking car is basically the same as every other car, but they're trying to pre-qualify you if you've worked on Teslas because they think they're unique, right? I only want to go to this guy because he works on Vets or this guy on Audis. Realistically, they probably work on everything. So,
yeah, and be able to have that. They feel like they can identify you. They like your style for whatever reason. They don't, or they may not like you. They may not like the way you dress, or maybe you're left-handed in your video and they have something against left-handed people.
What?
I don't know. My wife is left-handed, so I could say that. But like that the YouTube video stuff and all video can help build that credibility because it lets people see that these are real people. Your team members, no matter what your team looks like. They see that these are real people doing the real work that they want to do, and they want to be a part of that, especially if it's cool or it's interesting or you do cool cars or to your point, you do their car. Like if I see somebody post a picture of we're in the off-road, real rock crawling type stuff. If I see a crappy Jeep on your Facebook page or YouTube, I may not decide to use you because you don't work on the kind of vehicles that I like. Same thing with Tesla or Corvettes or whatever. So it's definitely, I think it's a great point because I don't think most people, myself included, really think about the power of YouTube necessarily as a search engine SEO component.
It's huge. And don't get me wrong, if an exotic comes in and you want to shoot a video on it, great, no problem. But does it really make sense to only turn on that for just the exotic car? There's a lot more C8 Corvettes and a lot more Teslas and a lot more Porsches and Ford Mustangs and let's be honest, van mom bombs. If you don't want to do $100 interior detail, but you're willing to do it for $500 or $600, van mom bomb. This was, I'd say right up front in the video, this was $600. Here's the before, kabam! Here's the after. People cannot eat Cheerios off the floor. So YouTube is huge. And it pulls into Google search. So sometimes if you think it's relevant, if Google thinks it's relevant of like Corvette detailing and you're in Charleston, South Carolina, and it might pull up a Corvette detail video, knowing you were probably looking for a video of how to detail your own car. But hey, there's a guy who actually detailed this Corvette. Yeah, it's huge. You're just missing opportunities. So,
and Google's embedding those in the search results too, right? Like when you search, like some of the stuff, that's actually how I ended up on YouTube is because it's dug into the middle of my search engine results. So definitely something to that, and making sure you target, and we won't go into too deeply, but figure out who your target is, make videos to that target, just like you do all the writing towards that target and all those. So, What else? What else we want to talk about with SEO? What's the biggest confusion? One thing that'd be interesting would be just if somebody's going to go build out their own site right now,
Yeah.
because they're just not ready. Their business isn't mature enough, or whatever it is. They're not ready to take the next step and get the pinnacle of Detailers Roadmap to build them. Where do they start when they're building for good technical SEO? Just to get right, get started correctly. This episode is brought to you by Detailers Roadmap. Hey, spoiler alert, that's us. We all know you need a kick-ass website in order to be successful with your business. The good news is at Detailers Roadmap, kick-ass websites, that's kind of what we do. With the latest performance, designs, and SEO strategies, Detailers Roadmap is your one-stop shop to be successful on the web. And don't forget, we have the best support team in the industry. Whether you're an existing partner looking to improve your lead generation or you need a brand new website, Detailers Roadmap is here to help you be successful on the web. So go to detailersroadmap.com/success and get started today. That's detailersroadmap.com/SUCCESS.
Yeah, like I think a good one is Wix does a lot. You can do that day one. And then you can go take I think even Wix has like basic SEO, like video training that's only a couple hours. It's not top tier. I'm just being honest. It's like, right, watching the first video on being trained how to detail 2-bucket wash. But Wix can get you pretty far. It doesn't carry some of the big stuff we care about. But if I was starting a website, I would go to Wix. And then I would either go to Wix's own like SEO training, which they know their platform, so they're trying to show you that, or something like ahrefs.com, which is Ahrefs. They have free training. That's how we send our SEO team through. And that will teach you, if you've got nothing but time and you're trying to rank up more, you can take 8 hours of free training from one of the best systems out there. Google actually offers SEO certification for free. I don't know if most people know that, but that's a bastard of a training platform. That's 24 hours. But everything they train you on, you could do with a Wix site and get pretty good, for the most part. So I always tell people, start with something, try and get those conversions up, try and tell people what you do. Stop showing a frickin' finished car and I wipe the interior from 160, or I do film, call me for film. Just think, how can you pre-qualify them and build a little SEO in there? So that's where
because there's a longevity component. There's a longevity component, right? Like I have multiple websites and I'm like, well, can I do SEO for this? And you're like, no, it's only like 3 months old. Don't try that.
Yeah.
I have this site that's way older. Like, so that Wix site, is a good starter to get that longevity component. Like what's a good number that people should be thinking about?
Yeah. Like you're saying before they make a jump to doing SEO or doing a bigger site.
Yeah. Like if the site's only a month old, Google's not going to give a crap about them. Right?
Yeah. Like, so we really like to see a year before you start hitting hard with SEO. Most of the time we will not even take someone for SEO unless we see certain traffic signals that make sense. But Google does, remember, at the end of the day, the most authoritative person. So if Google's this person and your website's this person, and you say, I'm a scholar on ceramic coating, and Google's like, you've only been here for 3 months, shut the fuck up, sit down. That's not how to say it. Or
get your TA ass out of here and go get some more education.
Graphene's where it's at. Shut up, sit down, get to the back of the line. Or there's a guy that's been sitting here for 3 years with a crappy site. He comes in like, hey, I know about ceramic coating. He's like, I'm gonna go with this guy. At least this guy doesn't. So a lot of times older shitty sites can outrank brand new sites because Google trusts them as an authority in the area. So we generally tell people 12 months before you really can even look at SEO if you're a brand new domain. To the point of, if somebody changes their business name and they say, hey, I'm not Joe Blow Detailing now, I'm Joe Blow Auto Spa, we will actually put the new site on the old domain because it has the most authority in Google's eyes. And then we will forward people, because he's probably still calling himself Joe Auto Spa. You can call yourself that all you want. We'll just forward people when they type that in, that it goes to the old site. People won't even know any difference. So new domains, kind of the kiss of death a little bit. So if you're brand new and you're listening to this, fucking fire that bitch up tomorrow. Get it going. Just don't jerk around. Think of what you want as a perfect name, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years now, so you don't have to change the name, but lock it in, put a site up, start adjusting it over the course of a year, for sure.
This is how you and I end up with like 487 different domain names in our
This
accounts,
is
right? That's the problem. That's why we keep buying way too many domains.
So many domains. 10 years ago, it was different. You could buy 50 domains and put nothing on them or forward them, and they would rank even just having the domain. Mm-hmm. Those days are gone. That left over a decade ago. So now,
yeah, because you could have a domain, you could set up the forward so that the forward was a permanent forward, but then it would give a title. You could put a title tag on the forwarding page.
Yep,
and which would, it used to be so much easier.
Yeah, those days are gone. Just remember, at the end of the day, Google is a service for consumers, and it wants to give the right person, the right business, the right article, the right blog, the right video to what you're searching for. And it knows if you're looking for paint protection film near me, if I give you the first 5 businesses are really shitty and they just came out, he's probably not going to use Google search anymore. He's just going to go to Bing or someone. So it's doing it the right way. It just really hurts people because if you started a business tomorrow, you're not ranking tomorrow. It's right. That's just, and if you want to be at the top, boom, there's an answer. Google has this thing. It's called Google Ads. Want to be at the top? Yeah. Pay me, bitch. That's what it does. So
as it turns out, Google is in business to make money.
Yes.
It's kind of, it's they're everything that they do is essentially to grow their revenue. But in order to do that, they want to make sure they're delivering the best search results possible. So if your site does not give the right kind of authoritative response and results, then they don't want you.
That's why my number one site that we do at Detailer's Roadmap is plagiarized sites. I've got a great looking site. Cool. It's been copy pasted like 1,000 times over. You're not the originator. That's why you're having problem ranking. They copy pasted it from Gtechnic or SB3. They just pasted it onto their site. Google said, I've seen this before. You're not authoritative. That's why these shitty sites sometimes can outrank a site forever, is because the guy, a young kid, spent 40 minutes writing a brand new page on it about ceramic coating versus the guy who copy pasted something off, and they wonder why. Remember, authority is king, content is king. So,
and even for like a plugin page like we offer for some of the manufacturers, those are written based on the guidelines that company gives us, say Gtechnic, for example. But we handwrite all that stuff to make sure that it's new and authoritative and not copy and pasted, right? We're not copying from Gtechnic site and going and plugging it in.
So we do write it uniquely, but I'm just being honest. Each page in those examples are duped internally. So those are not uniquely written for every single website we put them onto. So in that case, and I'm just being honest, and who knows, maybe we clip this out, but those pages are really, because the content is the same in California that it is in Arizona and New York, people really use them as like selling and like, go to my website, here's my coatings, here's my differences of coatings, this is what each coating from Gtechnic offers. But that page, I'm just being honest, is unlikely to rank on the grand spectrum because there's probably 30 or 40 of them out there in the ether, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they have. I mean, we're doing different H1 tags and all that. I mean, the title tags of that page are still SEO friendly, obviously.
They are.
But
We do
the actual
that.
content, yeah. And I mean, the point is, and I think it's actually a good educational piece, right? Because this isn't magic, right? Like there are certain pages that do better than others, and there are ways that we can use the site to do sales and conversions. For example, someone is looking for a G-Technic, installer. They go to the G-Technic site, or they go to Spartanburg, Tennessee site or whatever. Yep. And that is there could be a ranking, even though that has similar content. It's not just straight copy and paste, right? Like there are still elements that are built into that page that make it unique above even the other 20 installer pages.
Yeah, for sure. So like you could say, G-Technic, Chelsea, Michigan, and most likely that page is going to pop up super high. And if you just pull up ceramic coating, Michigan, Chelsea, you'll probably get that plus his uniquely written page that we've done on his actual site. So you'll actually see two pages now. Remember, most of the clicks go at the top. So if you're telling me I can get a couple pages up there, that's even better for our partners. So that's part of why blogs do good and articles do good, is those are additional foundational question and answer scenarios. So
right. I love it. Well, any other tips and tricks for SEO? This is actually a longer episode than I thought we were going to do about SEO.
We totally thought we were going to talk for 20 minutes.
I know. I think this is awesome because I think, it isn't all unicorn farts and fairy tears or unicorn tears which is pretty much how I believe that automatic transmissions work. This literally the only thing I won't rebuild on a vehicle is an automatic transmission because they work that way. So it's kind of like SEO, but it's not that. Like there are very deliberate things that you can do in order to maximize the effectiveness of your site from a search engine standpoint.
Yep. And we have a pod, an article on detailersroadmap.com that we talked about. I told you about the offsite, the onsite, the technical. But if you go to detailersroadmap.com, and I know this is at the tail end, so it's probably unlikely someone's going to pull it. But if you go to podcast and media center and then just type up at the search, how to rank, there is literally a pie graph that we show, and it says this is the biggest signal, which is Google Business, on page, review signals, link signals, citation signals. It literally is a pie graph to show you what's called what pieces are most authoritative currently in 2023 for Google. So
awesome. Well, obviously, detailersroadmap.com if you're ready to get started into the big leagues of web development and SEO. Along the way, and if you're ready for that, so feel free to reach out to us, detailersroadmap.com, for more information. Chris and our amazing team are always standing by to answer those questions and to help you get to that next step. So thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
All right. We'll see you later. Call Kevin personally if you have any questions. He loves them.
406.
Talk to you later. Goodbye.
Head over to detailersroadmap.com and get your one-stop success solution today.